Welcome and Namaste, Tashi Delay. We're going to do a brief mindfulness meditation together. This is good if you're a beginner, all the way to intermediate. This practice is even used by people like His Holiness the Dalai Lama or great meditators. It's a very good practice to do. You can do it every day in the morning. You can do it whenever you have the opportunity. You could do it on a bus, on a plane, on a train. You could even do it on break at work if you were on your lunch break and you had 15 minutes of quiet time. But mindfulness meditation is where we're going to focus our mind and just be still and be aware of our surroundings, be aware of our thoughts, our emotions, and our body. Not disconnected, but not engaged in busy activity. So it's good to start your meditation with some sort of sound, because the sound helps calm and clear the mind and sort of purify the atmosphere and focus you. So we're going to use a ring gong and see how this makes you feel. I like to let the sound completely saturate the space and clear my thoughts, clear my emotions, allow my body to just go with the sound and relax and just settle in. We've already talked about what to do with our hands and our posture, so we'll get right to it. In mindfulness practice, we're going to just be present, just be aware. And whatever thoughts or emotions or bodily sensations come up, we're just going to watch them and notice them. We're not going to, as we normally would, engage in them. For example, if you have a thought about something you have to do in 10 minutes from now, you just notice the thought, but you don't involve yourself, you don't create a dialogue with it, you just sort of let it go. Imagine the thoughts and the emotions and the sensations are like leaves floating on a beautiful little stream out in front of you, and they just go by. You see them, you don't ignore them, but they just go by. You don't engage in them. Or imagine they're clouds in a beautiful blue sky. And as the clouds come and go, you notice them, but you don't get too interested in them or involved. You just are aware of them, or you notice them. So in mindfulness practice, we're sort of being a witness. We're stilling ourselves and just watching. The second thing we do in mindfulness practice is we work with our breath as a sort of point, just a little jumping off point or an awareness point to bring us back to something very gentle, very natural, very much a part of our experience. So once you start working with your breath and you notice your breath as you're beginning to relax and meditate, the out breath, little pause, and then there's the in breath. You do this a few times and you begin to notice that your mind starts to wander to something in your daily life, or there's some little chatter in the back of your head. Bring your mind back to your breath. Just very gently, with patience. There's no judgment, no pressure. We're not trying to be militant to stay with our breath or to stay calm. We're not going to suppress thoughts or feelings or sensations, but we're just not going to engage in them as we normally do. So we come back to our breath again. And we just notice it going in, going out, very gently. Out breath, pause, in breath, and the mind starts to wander, and then just gently bring it back to the breath. Out breath, in breath. It's very gentle, very natural, very serene. And as we breathe, there's no special attention paid to how we're breathing. We're not going to force the breath. We're just watching the breath. We're just working with the breath as a little jumping off point. So there's a calmness that comes with this. Your mind begins to settle down with the bell, and then with just being present and just watching the breath, coming and going, dissolving into the space, wonderfully coming into your lungs, and then back out again, It's like a rhythm of a wave or a series of waves coming to the shore at the beach, and they come to the shore and they sort of break and dissolve, and then they withdraw back into the ocean. There's that rhythm, and we're just going to notice that. So as you listen to my voice, just keep watching your breath. And if you start to notice something that happened today in your daily life, just notice it, and then gently bring your mind back to your breath, noticing your body, being present in your environment. We generally keep our eyes open when we're doing this because we don't want to shut ourselves off from our environment. We want to integrate our emotions, our body, our mind, and all of our consciousness into one experience. So we're not going to shut ourselves off. Just let your gaze be out in front of you, a few feet, and let the focus of your mind be primarily on your breath, and then just relaxing. There's a tendency with our minds to want to have something going on because we get bored if our mind isn't busy. And that's a challenge. That's the biggest challenge in this practice. So just be gentle with your mind. Just know that that's a habit. And let the breath come and go very gently. And you'll notice sounds in your environment, car going by, someone turning the TV on, or music coming from the stereo or radio. Maybe the sound of a baby crying. Maybe the phone rings, your cell phone. Just let it all go by, just like leaves on that beautiful stream out in front of you, or clouds in the sky. You just watch them come and go. Being present, being alert, but not engaging them. Don't need to answer that phone. Just notice. Remain present. Just feel the joy of being alive and just being present to who you are, to your world, to your breath, which is so beautiful. It's the first thing that happened when you were born. You took that breath. And you've been breathing ever since. It's a beautiful rhythm that connects you with life, connects you with your own deeper self, your own clear, quiet, pure, strong, wise inner nature and mind. Just a gentle coming and going. Now you can do this practice. At first, it'll be a little hard to do it for a long period of time. You'll find it quite a struggle because your thoughts will want to really get involved. But then, it'll get easier. You can do this practice for 15 or 20 minutes very easily. But don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just, build up to it. Start with maybe 10 minutes or 15, and then slowly add a minute or two. One way you can time the practice is with a timer, like an egg timer, or you can burn a stick of incense. Now, some sticks of incense are about 20 minutes unless there's a breeze from an air conditioner or fan blowing on them. So you could use a stick of incense in an incense holder to time your meditation. And that way it'll give you some measure of when you can stop your meditation. A question that often comes up is are there certain times of the day that are better to meditate? So not only how long, but when. And generally speaking, it's best to meditate, if you can, in the morning, or at a time that's quiet and sort of restful. So there's not a lot of things competing for your attention. Obviously, you can't do this practice very well when you're driving on a busy freeway, when you're at work, when there's a lot commanding your attention. So you'll need to pick a time and a place that is very supportive of your practice, very convenient, because we want it to be something that you really can get a rhythm for, get a feeling for. And generally in the morning, after you've had a shower, generally before you've eaten, although not necessarily, because if you have a little bit in your stomach, just a little bit of food, maybe some tea, that could help. And then we end the meditation again with a gong or some sound. It really helps. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a beautiful practice. This is Christopher with Four Gates saying blessings to you in your practice. May all beings benefit, and Namaste. Thank you. Bye now.